We love hip
Adam22.
hop.
All right, we're going to go to the West Coast for a quick moment. Adam22 is now beefing with members of his staff. He went away for a little while, and now he's got a beef with Bricc Baby. While he was on vacation, he started hearing some inklings that Bricc Baby wasn't happy. Everybody knows about the whole Big U indictment that's going on right now. The update that's been happening with Big U's case, as far as the bail hearing that happened the other day, it came up in the bail hearing that they're looking to get 600 years from Big U. So I feel sorry for anybody who's associated to anybody around him who's inside of this case, who are one of the pictures on the wall when it comes to Bricc Baby, Loose Cannon, all of those guys. Even if they're able to get off of their charges and they've all been denied for bail, they're going to be fighting this for the next 2 to 3 years, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Right? And I'm not trying to wish bad shit. I'm just being realistic. They're going to be fighting this for a while. But during the time that Bricc Baby's been away, he got a little bit disgruntled. He said Adam, he ain't even check on him. He's been trying to call Adam while Adam's been on vacation. Adam ain't picking up the phone. And Adam22 decided, you know what? I'm going to go on to my own YouTube page. I'm not even going to go on the No Jumper page. I'm going to go to my own YouTube page, open back up the YouTube, and respond to Bricc Baby. And apparently, now we have Bricc Baby versus Adam22 in fighting. So I'm going to pull up a video here from Adam22's channel. And we'll review and see what Mr. 22 has to say. And I also have a video from Louista, my bad, who gave us an amazing breakdown of all of the mishaps and the missteps that Adam22 went through to get to where he is now. A way more comprehensive breakdown of why No Jumper is going broke, because I know Adam's saying he's not going broke, it's No Jumper. But a way more comprehensive breakdown of why No Jumper is going broke than Adam was able to explain in his own video. Holy, you guys are just... Yo, Comment Gang Strong, one in the chat if any of y'all messed with Adam22, right? If you mess with him, one in the chat, two in the chat if you're like, bun this guy. 22, Adam16, all of the different things that they call him, right? If you guys are on that kind of vibe, because it's weird. And Louista talks about it in his video, how the temperature just went from people watching Adam22 to hate watching him. It's got crazy over the years. But yeah, let's pull up the video. Let's do let's see what the 22 star is saying. I'm not here to hate. All right. Even though Adam says I said stupid shit about him on my show. Listen, bro, you are the talk of the town, my guy.
22 channel. It's been long dormant, ignored, turned my back on it, to be totally honest. But solo content, I'm gonna be real, I haven't done it in a long time, but I feel like I got something to say. I don't always want to wait for the podcast. I don't always want Lush breathing down my neck, getting in the way of my topics. Shout out to Lush. But today, you already know what I'm going to talk about. Bricc Baby, I'm coming for you. So let me explain. I was in Turks and Caicos for approximately 1 week, and it came down the pipe while I was out there, pause, that Bricc Baby had some choice words for the 22 stir, and today we're going to be reacting to those words. So let's get right into it.
Hey, what's that big old deal, man? It's the Bricc, man, while everybody laid up with their feet up out there vacation and playing like they ain't got nothing for the kids, man. You already know we still keeping it strong. Nigga don't need nothing from... Hey, sometimes it be a mental test. Nigga hard at in his chest, man. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker use you, abuse you, as soon as you get out the way and act like they ain't worried about losing you. You know what I mean?
Okay. So if you didn't catch it, this is a thinly...
He'll use you and abuse you. And then when you get out the way, they ain't going to worry about losing you. Bars.
veiled shot at the 22 stir. I was on vacation. I did have my feet kicked up. But let's talk about Bricc Baby. and in particular, the financial side of my relationship with the Bricc, not the Trick.
Not the Trick.
When Bricc Baby came on the platform 2 years ago, pretty quickly, the feds ran up in his crib and raided him. He needed money to get out. Now, it's been discussed at length that I fronted him an amount of money, $5,000, so that he could get out the same day that he was picked up. I know WAC100 and a few other people have been spreading information saying that this was cap. I don't know. Honestly, the other day in the Reddit, somebody posted information saying that he really did have a bail and that was where the $5,000 went.
Do y'all remember that when Bricc Baby got some money from Adam when he first got over to the No Jumper podcast? He said that he needed to get bailed out. And then there was some stories later on that came out saying that he actually didn't need no bail from Adam, no bail money from Adam. And it was all a ruse. Let's see if I could find anything on that. I probably won't, but let me see. Bricc Baby bail money. I'm just checking on Twitter first. Anything No Jumper related, you gotta. Oh, I found something else here. We'll spin back over to Adam's video in a second. We're gonna make sure that we cover every single angle of what's going on here, man.
There was already a sizable debt. I had let him borrow a pretty significant amount of money from my perspective. And it's like, you know, I know that he looks at me as somebody who's got his life together and have done fairly well for myself over the years. But the truth is that No Jumper in kind of a tricky spot. Obviously, we did the whole going broke narrative, had that whole conversation a couple of weeks ago and everything. But, you know, it's a weird spot to be in because I wish that I could fully support him and that I could kind of make these problems go away. I wish I could just cop the boy a lawyer. That would be amazing. But realistically, there's only so much that I could do. And it's like we went weeks where he didn't ask me for anything. So this is kind of like all just sort of like come.
Listen, we'll save that for the video because he does mention that in the video.
With some other narrative than that, baby. You talk about a nigga telling. They got good.
I wanted to sincerely apologize.
Let's find it. Adam22. Hold on. We'll find it. This nigga Charleston White. Paper tried to wiretap caught in 4K. Anyhow, we'll get back to the Adam22 video. Like I said, I probably wasn't going to find it. This is from years ago when Bricc Baby first came to the podcast. He was like, "Oh yeah, we fooled that old white man."
Never really heard about it. I heard rumors in the streets that maybe this money was not required for him to be bailed out, that he didn't have a bail. But I did see these screenshots in the Reddit that make it seem as if he did have a bail. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I gave him the money, had to get him back out on the streets. I knew that he had potential. I knew that I could take him from being a marginal figure in the LA podcasting space to being one of, if not the most talked about person in the podcasting space, which is exactly what has happened over the course of the past couple of years. Never asked him for the money back.
Nothing.
Never asked for it. You feel me? Now, to his credit, for like 2 years after that, he did not ask me for any additional funds. So from my perspective, you know, I was just like, okay, whatever. This is part of doing business.
So y'all keeping up, right? He asked him for 5 racks. The 5 racks were questionable whether it was for bail money. You know, WAC100 was able to cause a little bit of confusion. And he's like, was it really for bail or are you trying to play me? Cool. A lot of time has passed. He said, I think almost 2 years. He didn't ask me for anything. But wait for it.
I gave him the 5K. I'm not going to bring it up again. And over the course of those 2 years, my prediction did come true. Bricc Baby basically soared to new heights, became one of the most talked about people in the community. And as far as our relationship, I would like to think that we actually became something like friends.
Something like friends. Not actual friends, but something like friends. Let's proceed.
got closer and closer, spent time hanging out various times, went out to a lot of different parties and stuff, basically formed a relationship that honestly was a little bit more developed than the type of relationship that I've formed with most of the hosts that No Jumper has had over the years. Fast forward to a couple months ago, Bricc Baby reaches out to me again, asks if he can borrow a couple $1,000s for, I don't know, he's like moving into a new spot or some shit like that. I said, okay. Didn't even bring up the
Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. That's that Diamond Club's. Hold on. Holy. Another 2 racketies, bro. What about the last 5K that I lent you, fam? You ain't never going to say nothing about the 5K that I lent you, and now you're here for another 2 racketies? Wow. All right, bro. There you go.
the fact that I had let him borrow this $5,000. I figured after 2 years, shit, whatever. So I let him borrow this additional
This money. Fun coupons.
I forget what it was. And then very soon after that, like I'm talking like a week later, he gets picked up by the feds, right? Ever since then, there's been murmurings, people wondering, what is Adam22 going to do to help out Bricc in this situation? Now, from my perspective, I'm $7,000, $8,000 in the hole in terms of money that I have let you borrow, which I'm not really the kind of person who lets people borrow money all the time. Like, of everybody who's ever worked for me, I honestly don't think I can think of a situation in which any of them have borrowed money from me. Like, that's just not really the kind of relationship that I like to have with people who work for me. If it is an emergency, okay, we could do something. But for the most part, it's just not really how I get down. It's like, I don't like to have that kind of thing going on. I pay you for your service and you do the job and we're good. But as far as taking out loans consistently, constantly, I'm not really into it. That being said, it was only
I ain't mad at Adam for that motto, though, man. Like, you don't know these niggas, bro. It's not the same kind of relationship that people might see that I might be having with different podcast hosts, some of the podcast hosts that I've had over the years. When it comes to examples like, if I could use myself for an example, narcissism. Like PK Herc, that's my homie from time, G. Same thing with Dusty. That's my homie from time, G. When you got different people like, let's say Gutsy, he came along through like resumes. He had to send in a resume. You know what I'm saying? Who else that people who have left? Same thing with Gucci. I was looking for a cameraman. Salute to Gucci, right? I was looking for a cameraman. I put out the word in the Instagram stories. I think I even put it on the feed. I was actively looking for new people to join the team. So that kind of relationship is different. Like, this is the kind of relationship that Adam has with pretty much all of his co-hosts. Once House Phone left, I think House Phone was the last of people that he can consider his homies that were on the No Jumper network. Everybody moving forward when it comes to Flacco, Almighty Suspect, Bricc, all these guys, they're his employees. They're not his friends first. He didn't know them back in the days. He don't know them from New Hampshire. He doesn't know them from hanging out in LA. Maybe from here and there in passing, but Flacco literally moved from North Dakota to go down there and start working at No Jumper. So none of these guys are his friends. They're all literally employees only. So they can't be coming and asking this nigga for any money, bro. It would actually be weird. I don't care how much money this man's walking around with, how many foreign cars and shit like that. Like, he's your boss. You know what I'm saying? 613 Canadians. I think this news on TikTok says, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm about to step on my keyboard. What's up, Friday? 1,000% he should be helping Bricc. Not that trick. For real, eh? Interesting. Even after he's in the whole $7,000 with the man?
2 times throughout our relationship so far. But I say all that to just set the stage. Then he gets locked up, and people are pretty much automatically, suggesting in the comments, people talking about it on podcasts, is Adam going to pay for his lawyer? Is Adam putting money on his books? Whatever. And I'm going to be real with you. For like the first month that he was locked up, he didn't ask me for shit. He didn't say anything about it, which I kind of appreciated because I feel like if I just gave you $2,000 like immediately before you got locked up, it is kind of weird for you to get locked up and then be like, hey, like, can I have even more money, especially given this prior debt? Because my thing is like, if you want to get an official verdict on it.
That's a good question that you're asking in here in the chat over here. Salute to Kashif Grant. Says, help Bricc do what? I guess he's gonna have to put some money on his books, because as far as Bricc getting bail, or he could help him with a lawyer. Right. And Adam mentioned this in this piece over here, or no, in the other piece of content, that maybe he might have been able to help him with a lawyer and blah, 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 blah. I'm sure Adam can afford, I can't even say I'm sure. There's a possibility that Adam might be able to afford a high-priced lawyer to be able to help Bricc Baby. And maybe that high-priced lawyer might be able to get him a bail hearing again and get him out on bail at least, so he can be fighting this shit on road. Okay? Money helps. But we also see the demands 7,000 in the hole. He asked for 5,000 before. That was supposed to be for bail, which it's questionable whether it was for bail or not. And then he asked for another 2,000 the other day for his kids or some shit. You feel me? Big thanks to Lati for the donation. He said, what's up, Friday? 1,000% he owes Bricc nothing. Not a damn thing. Mr. Get Track says Adam could drop Canteen at least. Come on, Friday. I ain't saying no. I'm just saying, as far as big money, and then hold on. How long we gotta drop Canteen for? Like, this nigga might be fighting this shit for the next 2 years. And then what if he gets convicted? He might be gone for 10 years. Is he going to be dropping money in his canteen for the next 10 years? Is that his nigga like that? Or let me not use those terms when it comes to Adam and the way they call him a colonizer and shit. Is that his brother like that? He's already said he was, they became sort of like friends. He didn't say we became brothers. That's my brother. This is what the problem is, and this is what happened with AD and them niggas. Salute to them, right? And they know this too. If AD sees this, he understands. Niggas start thinking too much of this. Yo, this is my brother. I'm gonna ride for no jumper. Nah, bro, this is just your boss. He's your employer. You ain't riding for shit. Ride for your paycheck. Make sure you perform when you come into the office, when you get on mic and get on camera. Other than that, leave that shit in the office. That nigga's not gonna ride back for you. Pause. You feel me? Trust me, bro. Like, the nigga ain't your friend, bro. He ain't your friend.
How I'm willing to help you out financially in addition to what I've done for you previously. I feel like you should be upfront about that. I've talked to Bricc on the phone a whole bunch of times since he's been locked up, including like the day before this video came out. And it was none of this energy at all. And in addition to that, we've got people like Sharp, who don't got a pot to piss in, who ain't done nothing for Bricc, who can't do anything for anybody because he's dead broke. He's coming out, making YouTube videos, doing streams where he's passing judgment on what I've done for Bricc. Keep in mind, I've had Bricc on salary for 2 years straight. Even when he was missing shows, even when he was out of town doing whatever, never fronted on him in terms of the money. Now we've got Sharp, who, Sharp has never done anything besides sex traffic women and be ugly. And he's out here trying to cast judgment on me. So let's play the Sharp clip.
Pretty much, if he is to get out or, even hits the streets, they don't want him on that podcast at all. They want him to resign from it. Like, be done with it. The feds do not want him on No Jumper no longer. I'm telling you facts. This isn't what I think. No, it's what I know.
So
let's play the extended version. Let's do that. Because, he's spitting the isms right now.
Yeah, he said too much. There's too much just put out anyway, and that's cool, but as we all know, Bricc, you know what I'm saying, his bond got denied today. I talked to his baby mama for a second, and she just, you know, it's real, man. It's unfortunate. Pretty much, if he is to get out, or, you know what I'm saying, even hits the streets, they don't want him on that podcast at all. They want him to resign from it, like, be done with it.
All right, we got all that part.
They're just giving him that. Now you got to appeal it. Be out on Wednesday. A lot of you dummies, because it went to prove, because everybody was screaming, oh, they're going to be out on Wednesday. No, they're not. I knew it when it came to the bail hearing and how things play like that. They're just giving them that. Now you got to appeal it. And then, you know, to hear.
Yo, Sharp's smart, man. Hold on. I'm going to keep on playing in a second because this is on Sharp's channel. Sharp got smarter, yo. He took all the curses out. He started realizing he's getting them yellow dollar signs instead of the green ones. He said, oh, it ain't working, player. We got to fix that. How you take them curse words out that shit, man? How we fix that, man?
You know, when he was calling, you know, Adam, he ain't answering, or whatever the case may be. He's calling people, and they not picking up. Now they're avoiding him.
Uh-oh.
Why is that? Boy, why ain't you answering Bricc calls? You ain't doing nothing wrong.
My bad, and I don't want to point it out so now that you guys can hear it. What the hell is that noise in the background? Like that, it sounds like a timer is going off, like, you know, like one of those egg timers.
Right.
Like
y'all
my
making
nigga.
Content about them for the last 2 weeks.
Put in some earbuds.
Why is it that he ain't received a paycheck? And motherfuckers is making money off of what he been doing. And I'm hearing that, you know, from reliable sources, his people, you know, that reached out about it. And, you know, they're not getting no feedback on it, no response. I mean, they did have a life before he went to jail, homie. Like I said, that's what happened.
All right, were y'all here? My bad. I know it has nothing to do with the actual content itself. But were y'all hearing that before I pointed it out, or are you now hearing it now? It's just like a continuous, like, I don't know what kind of sound it is. It's like a motor, a motor in a car, just continuous white noise in the background. Like, my nigga, please, bro. This is part of the reason why Sharp is not growing as a content creator. He gives no fucks about the tech part of this shit, bro.
Happens at jobs like you don't get his money.
It's the air fryer.
Some bands because he ain't there. Come on, brother, that ain't cool. You supposed to make sure that he got it. His baby mama or nobody like ain't received nothing. Like just even the money that he's owed legitimately for what, you know, the work that he's done. Because I know he got a salary. Why ain't that man received his bread? Like, what's going on? Give him his bread. He at a point right now where he could use that.
Okay. This is what got Adam pissed off. All right. This is why I'm playing the whole thing with this. Because he's like, yo, give him his bread, nigga. Don't you have him on salary? He's all digging up in Adam's pockets. Pause. He's like, what you got in there, bro? You let me tap your pockets, fam. Pocket watching the hell out of Adam. I know you got it.
That he's done. Because I know he got a salary. Why ain't that man received his bread? Like, what's going on? Give him his bread. He at a point right now where he could use that for his family. He's still got, you know what I'm saying? He got kids in school. He got all types of going on. How do you use his bread on me? It's a time where he probably need it the most. What I'm saying is very simple. I don't care what the case may be. He got kids. He's got going on. At least get in his last movement, his last hoorah before you say him.
Give him his last 2 weeks? Oh, is that how we paying niggas over there at No Jumper? All right, I'm going to give you your severance pay, bro. Don't ask me for no commissary, bro. Sorry.
I knew that it was coming, homie. I knew that it was coming. I seen it. I just shut up. Like, no, you know, let it rock. Just be careful. Man, now look. I made money off the man name. I ain't going to say y'all because that pinpoints too many people. But, you know, certain people have made money off of the likeliness of that whole situation for the last couple of weeks and ain't put $1 towards it. Man, I know the real people, man. His loved ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the people that's impacted.
Bro,
not just him, and making
big salute to DJs are
content. To know that girl that reached out, you know, just on like some, hey, like, what's going on? And she ain't getting no feedback. Like, that tells me a lot. I'm only speaking on it because I would want to speak on it for me. I'm a solid homie. And when I hear certain like that and it's not being spoke on and like it's just playing just for content and like all y'all be playing them games and you suckers that be sitting there talking drag about it. Like, you wouldn't even want to happen to you. So shut up.
Speak
like,
on it.
Trolls need to.
Yo, this guy went crazy with the iMovie. Holy Sharp, I see you, brother. I see you, and we receive it, bro. Man figured out how to use the iMovie, went nuts. So let's continue with Adam.
If this is true, this is the first and only source that I've heard from that has specified this in any way.
So let's go back to exactly what context, because, you know, you're saying that
I've heard from that.
You know, that Sharp said that once he gets home, if he gets home, he's not going to be allowed to be on No Jumper. I don't think that you needed Sharp to tell you that, man. The nigga has a federal case where the head of the case is looking at 600 years. I would imagine podcasting wouldn't be the best option for you to get back on a podcast, talk about on 6-0 Crip. I got more skulls than you got fades or you got squabbles. Sounds cute. You're in jail now, nigga. Respectfully.
Do I have concerns about Bricc Baby returning to the platform? Yes, obviously that would be kind of interesting, and I would wonder about the level of heat that it would draw to the building. Obviously, things like the gun that they saw in his waistline that I didn't see and that I don't think the comments saw, but that was pointed out in his bail hearing that he had a strap on.
I told you he didn't see that shit. This nigga was trying to be so cool that he tried to get it past his boss, because he knew Adam would have been like, bro, what are you doing? You're on camera. I got to do it, though. I got to show this nigga I got the blower on me on 6-0. Stupid.
On him. That kind of thing is the kind of thing that I would want to really be on point with. But the idea that the feds or the cops have told Bricc that he's no longer allowed to be on No Jumper, this is a Sharp narrative as of this point. Like, I have absolutely no idea if this is a real thing.
No, bro. Anybody with common sense will know Bricc is not going to be allowed to be on No Jumper. Right? For the amount of rappers that are out here who have dealt with parole conditions, and out there in LA, gangster gangland, you're trying to tell me that niggas have never had parole or probation conditions where you can't go to the studio, you can't make music, you can't frequent establishments where they sell alcohol. So what you think? You think podcasting is any different? Just because niggas is over on a podcast not rapping and rhyming their words, they're still incriminating themselves, just like the rappers do. The only difference with the rappers is that they do it with shitty auto-tune and shitty rhyme patterns. At least we could understand. Bricc Baby's music wasn't slapping nothing close to the way that he could snitch himself out on a podcast episode. Ain't nobody trying to hear Bricc Baby rap. Nah, bro, we ain't trying to hear you snitch on a beat. Snitch on the seat right over here on No Jumper. Let me hear that over there. No Acapulco. Turn the beat off, nigga.
Thing or not. But it does seem kind of odd if this is something that Bricc told Sharp and didn't tell me or anybody else from No Jumper. I mean, keep in mind, Bricc and Sharp have had a weird relationship over the years because when we fell out with Sharp, Bricc talked hella shit about him on the platform and then basically continued to be friends with him to some extent, which I always thought was a little strange. But either way, I mean, to me, this is just a completely invented Sharp narrative as far as I know. It's kind of odd that he would know about this and I wouldn't know about this. But let's keep going.
You know, to a lot of you dummies, because it went to prove because everybody was screaming, oh, they're going to be out on Wednesday. No, they're not. Calls.
Another Cap Sharp narrative. I have not been ducking any phone calls. And keep in mind that his baby mama has been in communication with me, talking to me, telling me what time Bricc was going to call and everything. But every time that I got on the phone with Bricc, It's been like 2 or 3 minutes of conversation, and then he gets kicked off because I guess he's only allowed to be on the phone for 10 minutes at a time. Never at any point until I was in Turks and Caicos, like right before that other video clip came out, did Bricc even utter something that mentioned or.
Can we unpack that for a quick second? I understand, man, need a vacation. I need a vacation on some Jeezy shit. I get you, bro. It's stressful out there, man. Nigga made a video about I'm going broke or no jumpers going broke. You got the feds knocking on your door. I would understand needing a vacation. But do y'all don't think the timing is a little bit strange? Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. One in the chat if the timing is a little bit strange. 2 in the chat if it's like, nah, it's soft, bro. Nah, man, you need some R&R. You and the wifey go take a vacation. Go hit her with the Willy Bobo. Give her pum pum a break from all of that freaking Jason Love dick. See, this is the shit. This is the reason why the nigga don't like me, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean that. But one in the chat, if the timing is just a little strange, the Rico is here. Niggas is knocking on your door. You're talking about I'm wearing the Nike tech suit when the freaking feds came knocking, and then boom, you get out of Dodge for 2-3 weeks. Just coincidence. It's nothing. It's just a vacation. Turks and Caicos, soft. I'm just asking.
Or inferred that he thought that he should be getting in any way some money from us. So to me, I'm gonna be real with you. I just feel like this is some hoe ass shit. No offense, Bricc. I don't really want to use the hoe word when it comes to you or anything, but how are you gonna be out here communicating shit like this to Sharp and not having the nuts?
You better watch out, bro, about that whole ass talk about the brick, not the trick.
To say it to me. And in addition to that, I mean, let's be real about the relationship between an employer and a worker. If Bricc had asked me in the beginning, Adam, if I get locked up, will you bail me out? Will you pay for my lawyer, etc.? My response early on probably would have been like, no.
No.
I would prefer to not take our relationship to that extent. Like, that's just not something I really go into business with someone being prepared to do. It does leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth to realize that Bricc is comfortable having conversations about me to Sharp, but won't have that same conversation to me. Like, if you want to borrow money, you can ask me. I was actually kind of looking forward to him asking me so I could have a conversation with him about the fact that he's already in a pretty significant amount of debt to me, but that conversation never came. And then in addition to that,
I'll give Adam, sorry, I'm twisting my words. I'll give Adam the benefit of the doubt. Okay. I think if Bricc came to him like on some straightforward shit, like, yo, on 6-0, man, can you really help me out, Adam? I got a long trip ahead of me when it comes to all this legal shit. I might need you to help me out with a lawyer. I know I owe you some money from before, but please, man, my life is on the line. I don't think Adam would have been like, so tough. Once you pay me back my $7,000, then I'll help you with a lawyer. Have fun. See you later, Gator. I don't think he would have done that. No matter what people say about Adam22, and I can see you all in the comments just roasting the hell out of the man. Besides the beef that's going on between SSS and Kyle, y'all cut it out, man. I'm seeing a war happening. There's a war going on outside. No one is safe from. Right? But no matter how, low vibration that people think that Adam22 is, I still think he would have looked out for the Bricc. He would have brought up the money. He would have been like, yo, you just remember, you do owe me that $7,000. But I got you, bro. You're my main coon.
I heard it through the grapevine that Bricc basically thought that
shit. Raccoon. I'm going to have to cut that out the goddamn thing, man. I got freaking hit the other day for that word.
He was going to keep getting paid. That even though he's locked up and he's not able to contribute to the business by being on camera, that he thought that he was just so locked in that he was going to keep getting his monthly pay each month. I'm sorry. I know you guys all saw the No Jumper is going broke video. We are not in the best financial state right now. Me paying someone to be in federal prison doesn't really seem realistic.
Y'all been making content about them for the last 2 weeks.
Does that not make sense to y'all? You're gonna keep paying a guy on salary, which I think was crazy in the first place. You should have paid him per content piece, because there's enough times that Bricc wasn't showing up on time, not showing up at all different, just abusing the salary. All right, like just abusing his job. So I don't know, man. Maybe that wasn't a good idea to pay this nigga on salary. But you think you're gonna still pay this guy on salary while he's in jail? Come on, fam. Y'all just trying to play him because he's white now. Stop. Really and truly, if y'all really expect Adam to be paying this guy, and I'm talking even to Sharp, if you're expecting Adam to continue paying this guy's salary while he's in jail, you're just like, oh, come on, rich white man. You know, you got it. No, it doesn't make sense. It's not even fair.
Why is it that he ain't response? I mean, they did have a life before he went to jail, homie. Like I said, that's what happens at jobs. Like you don't get his money, and missing out on some bands because he ain't there. Come on, brother. That ain't cool.
Come on, brother.
Why ain't that man received his bread? Like, what's going on?
Sharp is basically alleging that No Jumper has not paid Bricc the money.
Yo, think about the fact, and let me check what's going on with the views, bro. 41,000 views. So he's getting this message across. He's even getting this message across more than on the No Jumper channel, to be honest. Think about the fact that Sharp has gotten under the man's skin so crazy, that he's making a whole 14-minute video based on not only what Bricc Baby said. I know Bricc Baby said certain things to set off this whole video, and the video he's in the thumbnail, but it's Sharp that really got under his skin, or he was like, nigga, Sharp's talking now? All right. Let me fire up the Adam22 channel and get my shit on. Sharp, he really hates Sharp. I don't know why. Before I start the video again, my bad. I don't even want to start and stop because I know why. He had to take down all of those Sharp Tank episodes off of the channel. And I know that shit hurt. There's Sharp episodes that have 1 million+ views on it, bro. So I know that shit hurt. Like, bro. When they were beefing, the final part of the beef is when he was like, now I don't want none of my shit on your channel neither. That shit would burn me personally. I'll be transparent with y'all. That would burn my skin. Take down all the content with me in it. All those Sharp Tank episodes, take that shit down. What, nigga? That's crazy. Adam hates this guy.
That we owe him. Well, he obviously has absolutely no knowledge of this, because I would easily gladly open up our books and let everybody see the fact that we paid Bricc for exactly the amount of time that he was on the podcast. So this is ridiculous. This is just totally fake. Sharp, again, basically a bum at this point. He's on the verge of homelessness. He's going to go back to Vegas and continue his sex trafficking career at the truck stops in Vegas. And apparently he's just trying to get one little tiny moment of clout.
ST at the bus stops, at the truck stops. Oh, yo, the man called him a full S trafficker. Yo, Adam, you're playing dirty games, bro. You trying to put a Fed case on that nigga, bro. That's nasty work.
That we owe him. Well, he obviously has absolutely no knowledge of this, because I would easily gladly open up our books and let everybody see the fact that we paid Bricc for exactly the amount of time that he was on the podcast. So this is ridiculous. This is just totally fake. Sharp, again, basically a bum at this point. He's on the verge of homelessness. He's going to go back to Vegas and continue his sex trafficking career at the truck stops in Vegas. And apparently he's just trying to get one little tiny moment of clout by calling me out. His YouTube channel is in the fucking dirt. And so he's out here spreading.
Hold on, let that one breathe for a second. Adam is pissed.
Misinformation about me. Sharp, use a hoe.
Oh,
Use a hoe commenting on real business because you've never
he doing the ludicrous. Use a hoe. Use a hoe.
ran a business. You're doing live streams for 200 people for 6 hours every night. I know this video is not about Sharp, but it's just so hard for me.
This video is not about Sharp. You're so vain. You really think the song is about you? You're so vain. You really think the song is about you? About you? Don't you? Don't you?
Me to hold my tongue when it comes to describing what a hoe ass bitch Sharp is. Okay, let's just go back to the Bricc thing. I guess I just wanted to make this video.
This nigga called him a whole ass bitch, a whole bunch of shit, but this video is not about Sharp. Nigga, you talked about Sharp out of the 14 minutes, about 8 minutes, maybe 9.
Video to clarify that I'm not on any weird shit. I'm not on any disloyal shit. My perspective is just, no, I'm not going to keep you on the payroll while you're locked up. That's just not, that's an abuse of the relationship that you think that we have. It's like, there's probably a lot of people in your life that could help you out with money. And I have nothing against giving the guy some money for commissary, helping his girl out with whatever.
There you go. He said it. Stamp it. He said it. He don't got no problem helping that nigga. Put a bit of money on the books, right? What's the limit on the money on the books in Los Angeles County? Right? I know over here is like used to be $90 back in the days. I'll put at least 100. What you need, bro? Some soap, toothbrushes, or I don't know if they got the toothbrushes, but like I don't know, candy bars and shit.
Right? But it's just at a certain point, you've already worked up a significant debt with me. It takes a lot of nerve to make YouTube videos basically throwing shade at me when realistically, I'm probably the person who showed you the most love in recent memory. Now, that being said, Bricc, he's locked up. He's detoxing off perks, I'm assuming. So he's probably not in the best mental state. I'm not turning my back on him by any means. I'm just calling out some behavior that I personally don't really agree with and don't care for. So we actually do have plans. We've got some free Bricc Baby shirts that we're going to be dropping in the very near future. The proceeds from that are going to him and his family.
Let's go, man. Free Bricc Baby. Yo, I will cop one. I'll wear one on the podcast.
In addition to that, we do have a live stream coming up in the very near future, probably by the end of this week. And in that live...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Wasn't he like friggin' Hulk Hogan and leg dropping his girlfriend and doing all kind of wild shit? I might have to bag back on buying one of those t-shirts, bro.
Live stream, we are going to be taking all of the donations. Friday is looking like it might be the day. Friday, we might be doing this. All the donations are going to be going to Bricc Baby to help him out. That being said, I don't really appreciate some of this weird backstabby type of stuff. You know, honestly, it's just, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I feel like you should have more respect.
No pause for Adam.
For the relationship that we've had over the years and the fact that I've kept you on your feet over the years. But I'm not turning my back on you by any means. We are going to be helping Bricc Baby out. And so show up to that live stream Friday. Hopefully we can make it happen.
All right, so live stream coming up this Friday. Adam's going to try to do a fundraiser for him, a telethon. He's going to help the Bricc, man. Y'all playing Adam, trying to, act like he's a slave master, colonizer. Nah, man, he going to help the Bricc, not the trick. Right? I asked in the poll over here, should Adam help Bricc Baby? 51% of y'all said yes. 49% of y'all said no. It's not some unanimous shit. A lot of people understand where Adam's coming from. Like, I gave you $7,000, bro. You guys are just trying to play me like a piggy bank. Oh, you think just because I'm a white guy that you guys could just keep on playing me, asking me for money? That don't look good, man. These guys talk nasty about Adam. I'm not even trying to be a Adam22 defender here. I'm just stating the facts. These guys talk crazy about Adam sometimes, including right now. And then he's going to turn around and what? Keep on paying this nigga salary? To do what? It's crazy. What up, Mace? Let me see what y'all saying in the comments here. Just Av Gaming says, if it wasn't for Lena and BBC videos, he'll be done. Apparently, they're doing more videos. Here's the problem with this whole No Jumper universe. The missteps that Adam has taken over the last couple of years, and we've explained this. We've explained this in multiple live streams. That has led him to where he is here. The Rolling 60s Rico is just the icing on top, to be honest. But when you take in all of the different things that have happened with the No Jumper network over the years, we kind of seen this shit coming. The writing was on the wall. Let me see if I could pull up just this last thing here, and then we're going to get off of this topic. We'll spend about 2 more minutes on this topic, maybe 5.
You can only keep up.
Because Louista made a video where he was giving a breakdown of the self-destruction of Adam22 ... No Jumper. In the beginning,
Chicago's name, and
he explains like all of the different reasons why people might hate Adam like right now, and the reason why he's controversial. So we don't need to go through all of that.
And to Adam's credit, he did actively try and get them to postpone the interview.
Right? He talks about the upcoming times, or the times coming up in the No Jumper universe. He talks about when Adam gets pressed.
He was hit with some harsh reality checks.
I find it somewhat disturbing that somebody that is outside of what these boys endure on a day-to-day basis, interviewing them and monetizing it for your own personal gain when these kids are dying. This is them and their family's trauma that you guys are monetizing to turn a fucking profit. And you're calling it journalism. That's not fucking journalism. So in them doing this, they're coming on your platform because your platform is huge. So do you agree that them coming on your platform, you said it already, that it has a benefit for them as well as you?
Of course. Yeah.
So do you also think that you are monetizing this black beef trauma shit that these boys are going through?
I mean, incidentally, yes, I am monetizing it because when we make content on YouTube, it's monetized by default. But that being said, this is content that the people clearly wanted to see.
So that's your rule. If people want to see it, I'm putting it out. It don't matter about your behavior, and your train of thought isn't aligned with the well-being.
So yeah, you know, they go through the backlash, but then here's when they get to some of the mishaps, like the last 2 years.
Is the whole brand make in a month or in a year?
No Jumper might bring in $1 million a month.
Wow.
Woo.
And then Plug Talk, not quite as much, but in the ballpark arena of that. A big part of it's Patreon. You know, we have a Patreon that does 6 figures a month. Facebook has been insane. We're making a couple $100,000 a month on Facebook.
After an explosion of views in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Adam and No Jumper began to branch out and started hiring various hosts while expanding their repertoire of shows. That said, it was no surprise that some of them flopped almost immediately.
There we go.
For example, there was the flat-out terrible ideas, like having the infamous OnlyFans model Selena Powell have an entire show dedicated to her on the channel. As expected, it was short-lived. Others like Lil Housephone, AD, T-Rel, Sharp, and Lush became regulars and helped carry the platform for a while. The status quo remained in place for a pretty decent amount of time, with the content they generated beginning to garner its own fans. But when this all blew up around them, No Jumper was lucky to have survived 2023 with all the infighting and allegations of a toxic work environment that arose. Things really started to spiral when
this is where shit got messed up. This is why salute to Louista. And yo, Louista, if you see this, I'm gonna tag you when I do the clip for this. If you see this, my apologies, because I did a video a few months back, or a couple of years back, when I interviewed the homie Matt from What's the Dirt. And I think I know Matt feels differently also about Louista at this point too. There was a point in time where I think they had some differences between each other, and Matt had said some things in that interview. I don't mean to bring up old shit, but I just got to make sure that I apologize, because when I took offense too. I was like, oh, you stealing? That was the accusation at the time, right? Thumbnails, just stupid shit like that. And I think our views have both changed. Louista's videos have gotten 10 times better than even when we had that conversation like 2-3 years ago now. So my apologies if you see this video after you see this video. If you see that video, I ain't trying to kick your back in, fam. Salute to you.
A trans guest on the show appeared to outlaw house phone for having relations with them.
Never mind.
Come on, let's hear the
No,
impression.
I was gonna impersonate someone that I shouldn't have.
Oh,
Sorry, let me let him finish or do the full sentence here. Because this is when shit got bad.
Spiral when a trans guest on the show appeared to outlaw house phone for having relations with them.
Never mind.
Come on, let's hear the
No, I
impression.
was gonna impersonate someone that I shouldn't have.
Oh, come on. You've already
boy.
sold out entire life here.
Well, yeah, well.
Did I look down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person? If,
Yeah, absolutely. I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously. So just
but
letting everybody
you didn't
know
get one
that.
I'm guessing.
He didn't fucking pay me. Fuck him.
Wow. Adam even says it. Like, why would you even say your homie's name in that situation? Oh, you didn't get one for house phone, did you? Like, nigga, you're a dickhead, bro. Like, I know this guy, you say stupid shit about me. But this is why, bro. This is some asshole shit, bro.
So just air them out. But I feel like in general, that's
You
kind of
pay
a
for
thing.
discretion in this world, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. I am a very, very honest person, and I'm well known, veteran. Okay.
I have a feeling that this will soon be about him.
Oh,
I'm going to be hearing a lot about this.
And people, this
Well,
was sledge
tell him to
lords.
fucking take it up with me. I don't give a fuck.
And he needed to get this video out so bad that even after he apologized because he got his editors to scrub every time that the word house phone was said in the video, you exacerbated this by saying house phone's name, having the back and forth. You were better off just cutting the whole segment out, to be honest.
Would like to say the same, but it seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not editing this and putting it out. They're going to be mad at me, but I'm just...
And this wasn't the first time Adam crossed the line. He already caught backlash for mocking the abuse that house phone's mom went through at the hands of another man.
He beat the shit out of my mom one time, and I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes, and he literally almost killed her. My uncle was the one who sent it to him.
Well, now you're gonna have another weird phone call.
I know, right? I know. Actually,
Your uncle gonna be like, you know this guy in a little house phone with no jumper? That's my nephew.
That is your son.
And I ain't seen him since he was 4.
Yeah,
for
and I
real.
beat a bitch up, and it was what it was.
Hey, relax, bro. Hey, not for real.
See? It's sensitive.
Out of pocket, bro.
AD ain't no better at laughing either. That wasn't funny, AD.
I wanted to bring up...
Despite this flagrant disrespect, they carried on, with house phone simply asking for the line about the trans situation to be removed from the episode of the podcast that Adam then hosted with Danny Mullen.
But you saw the text message. You saw how strongly worded I was urging the fucking editors to make sure that it was taken out. Like, you know what my intentions were,
I called
right?
you specifically and asked you, bro, your lack of you didn't even sound like you was even listening to me when I called you on the phone. Your tone was just, I don't give a
Hold on. That comment is crazy. Carol says trans phone got disconnected from no jumper. Holy shit. Bars.
I knew that I was wasting my breath by even asking you to edit it. Or
how are you wasting your breath when you
I
saw
asked
the
you not,
text
I asked you not
messages
to
of
put
me
it out. I asked you not to put it out.
You asked me to edit it out.
I
You
asked
didn't
you
tell
not
me
to
to
put it
not
out.
put it out.
The first thing that I said was, can you not put it out? But I knew as soon as I came out of my mouth that I was wasting my breath because I know you.
What do you say? It's a yay thing? He gave a tranny head. He gave a tranny head. He gave a tranny head. He. All right. Just for the people who want to listen to the playback, I said he. Whoa. Hey. Yo. Harmonizing the shit. Oh, wrong one. Yeah. Yo, 2025, man. Yo, I'm not gonna read your name, but the one with the cool name, the way that slipped past the algorithm. Yes, I am super immature. I need to grow up, man.
And I know you're not gonna, the way that you view shit is like, I'm not gonna throw away this content. Oh, I filmed this thing, so I'm not gonna not put it out.
When Adam ignored that request, it sparked a heated confrontation with house phone. And things exploded when Adam brought up the death of the same woman he'd previously mocked for being a victim of abuse.
It don't matter about what the you tried to do, Adam. It's about what happened, bro. And then let's move forward to that bullshit ass apology you gave when you're on the fucking news. You're talking about Yeah, he's been going through the mom shit. He's been going through the health shit. You talking about the person that fucking raised me?
Are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as
I paid for the fucking
First of all-
funeral as soon
first
as
of
it
all-
happened just because
In the aftermath, the sentiment surrounding Adam seemed to
Yo, that was the most awkward not fight I ever seen.
change in an irreversible way. Specifically because not only would he not take accountability, but that he threw something so personal in someone's face who was allegedly a close friend in the full view of the world. The fact that this conversation was used as content
So that was the one. And then these niggas left.
at No Jumper again, and that T-Rail and AD got a real wake-up call. All the while, Adam continued to dig his heels in and make things worse.
I was like, God damn, Adam, shut the up.
What?
I'm like, because I'm like, you're so argumentative.
I already rebutted this crazy opinion. He was saying things
the same way.
T-Rail, by the end of the podcast, he fully admitted and apologized for saying shit that wasn't true.
And then it gets to the part where all these guys leave.
Does hip hop? So I didn't know you were just a slave owner.
Oh, they also talk about bringing Destiny on, his friend Danny Mullen, all these different problematic people. I think they brought in Nick Fuentes. He went crazy at one point. He was trying to grift into some type of political sphere where he gets to sit around and talk with, respectfully with his white brethren. And, we can have some highbrow conversations instead of, all of this gangster talk that I always talk about with AD and all those Negroes. Right? Danny, come on in, man. I know you say the N-word every once in a while, but it's cool, man. We could still be friends. Just don't say it around my black friends, okay?
Not the...
Wow.
Listen, I'm here to rep okay.
I like how Lord, bleep that.
And of course, much of that original crew left soon after.
Today,
they called him a slave master. This is what friggin' Destiny called him. You're kind of like a slave master.
we put in our resignation papers today, man. Yeah, man, we left the fort, man. No more AD at No Jumper. No more T-Rail at No Jumper.
Nope.
No more Duno at No Jumper.
Nope.
No more Smack at No Jumper. We gone, man. Me personally, I feel amazing, man. I gotta salute my brother T-Rail, bro. That nigga, man, he loyal to the soil. Yeah, more people need to be like him. Stand up. He said, man, if my homie ain't in this shit, I ain't doing this shit either, man.
They not like us. T-Rail did and AD did some they not like us to Adam right there. We off of this.
I feel like, man, as minorities, black and brown, bro, we showing that we can stick together. That's a big ass movement right there. You know what I'm saying?
With his empire now under more scrutiny than ever, Adam had to build from the ground up again. And almost immediately, he claimed he learned an important lesson from it. And sure enough, he rebuilt the team.
All right, tell me what you've learned from all of this.
You know, I feel much more equipped to build something, like to build a cast of characters and everything. It sucks that I wasn't able to, do it with these guys. But sometimes with me moving so fast and doing so many...
Yo, Louista with the
Instead of going back to the insightful interviews with rising rappers that built the channel, he doubled down on street content, clearly enjoying it when fights between people like Suspect and Kelpie went viral.
Boy, got it. I ain't never know. Who are you? I'm Lil.
The man went through different arcs. That's why I skipped all in the beginning, because the beginning was the quote unquote good old days, but we can't replicate just doing rapper interviews anymore. And I've said this in previous streams, after all of this shit, including the Jason Love arc, I don't know, be like a lot of rappers ain't trying to pull up over there no more.
How are you? No one knows you. Kelpie the motherfucking Kelpie the clown.
Thought that it was an important historical record of somebody who was involved in one of the most.
Oh, this right here hurt too.
It should never happen, but I ain't sorry. Feel me? Like, if I could go back, I'll go back. But I ain't sorry. Niggas die every day.
Even though
he interviewed Pop Smoke's killer, that didn't help. Yo, Adam, bro, watch this video, fam. I know it's gonna hurt to watch it, but respectfully, you need to go take in this video.
Music these days is a lot different. People simply aren't willing to take the chance in the way they were in that era. Instead, they wait for someone else to tell them it's cool before engaging. Meanwhile, Adam was busy rebranding himself as an adult performer alongside his wife Lena the Plug through their Explicit Plug Talk podcast. And things took a turn when he allowed Lena to branch out right around the same time No Jumper started falling apart. Soon, she was shooting scenes with Jason Love, a man who claimed he was providing superior service to her literal husband and father of her child.
Do you think that you her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes.
Obviously, yes.
But I'm pretty sure he probably felt different with Adam for her because love is involved emotions. But as for the physical aspect of getting, obviously.
This initially sparked conflict between Jason and Adam, but considering she had collaborated with him several times since, it would suggest maybe there was something to what Jason said.
I don't know if Louista got this right, but I'm sure he's done his share, his due diligence and his research. The man says since she's collabed with him several times since. Oh Lord. And I showed y'all some photos, pictures or videos, I mean, them pulling up in the whip. Hey, what y'all doing together? They're at the beach. I don't know if it's just for the content, it's all COE, or if he's like donkey fucking her when like they're making the content. Right? I don't subscribe to their pages and shit like that. So I don't know what new drops they have.
Said. From there, Adam began to embrace the image of king of all with his For the Love of Lena show, which, if you're not familiar, is a reality competition show about finding a suitable candidate to have relations with his wife.
Remember that on the channel? That didn't work.
Naturally, this aspect of his behavior is never going to be received well in hip-hop's hypermasculine culture. And combined with everything else, his reputation was basically crumbling into pieces.
All right, so we can stop the video there because he just continues to just shit on Adam for the rest of the video. But yeah, when you put it all together and mix it in the pot, this is what happened, bro. You kind of sunk your own ship. You're doing too much. You had a lot of money to play with, and you're like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try this, I'm going to ignore that, ignore this. And listen, this is a lot of woulda, shoulda, coulda stuff, where if Adam's watching this video as well as other videos, I'm sure he sees the timeline filled up with Adam22's broke, Adam22 got destroyed, the fall of Adam22 videos, all types of shit. I'm sure he sees it. But bruh, maybe watch some of the ones that are well produced, like how Louista did, and certain ones, and take it in as constructive criticism. All right, people are shitting on you. There are people who are giving some criticism that can be worked with, so that you can have a game plan to move forward in the future. All right, I will say this, and people are not going to like this. Salute to Adam22. All right, brother, you'll be fine.
We love hip hop.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.